Good day, it is Stephen Davids here, and in this video I just want to share a few tips with people maybe from abroad or some locals who want to explore our lovely country, South Africa, by car. The first tip is to keep safe. Safety first is a general rule. And just use common sense. Do not stop, for example, or sleep, rest, or eat anywhere. But do so at a safe place, for example, at the garage or at the shop. These beautiful areas I've got, don't just stop. South Africa must be regarded generally as, like most countries, I don't think South Africa is unique. But South Africa is relatively dangerous. Just keep that in mind. And then a pee bottle is a lifesaver. You must travel by car. But should you stop, just keep alert of your surroundings, and then keep all the doors locked should you use a pee bottle. But it's a lifesaver. Another tip is have enough fuel in your car. Maybe keep at least half a tank full. It depends on where you are. If you are a little bit maybe in the rural areas, half a tank, a quarter of a tank, it depends on you to take care of sudden load shedding. You see load shedding sometimes come all of a sudden. It doesn't. You get phases, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, but then sometimes it just happen all of a sudden. And should you travel now long distance, it's a little bit uncomfortable because you may stop at a garage when your car is empty, and the garage pumps may not be working because there's not electric backup for the systems. And that happens, and you have to wait it out maybe 1 hour or 2 hours while you could have continued. So just keep enough fuel in your car. Don't go empty if you travel. And then also have enough cash. As I said, one of the reasons are maybe because of load shedding that happens suddenly. You come at a toll gate, they don't accept your card, strange as it is, and then you must go back to wherever you come from, the nearest village, or you must go to the office, which sometimes takes a lot of time, or if it's not even open. So have enough cash for that. Maybe you want to do some random shopping at a small place along the way, food stall, and or maybe you see someone along the way that have nice fruit and vegetables stall, and you want to stop there just to get something, and the person doesn't take cards. So it's a good idea to have cash. And then also to have 2 round coins. Usually you can maybe tip the guy a few coins, or generally for toilets. Sometimes toilets in malls, etc., are not free. Sometimes you must pay a coin, or even at some garages. And then, of course, we all must drive with Google Maps. Just a few things in terms of Google Maps. Just remember, Google Maps is very good to help you maybe at bends or wherever when it's dark. Don't keep it in your hand or whatever. If your car has a screen, it's most in the middle center of the car, it's much easier. So just be careful that Google Maps do not show you the inclination of the road. Ne? For example, if you go now downhill, it doesn't show you you go downhill or you go up. And it's very uncomfortable if you go downhill and the road inclined to the outside, and you can quite hand in a problem if it inclines to the outside and not to the inside where your car is safe in terms of gravity. So just keep those things in mind. And then Google Maps may not include weather disturbances that happen suddenly, and the road is flooded, which happened a lot of times. Google show you, but you every time go in a closed road that's a little bit flooded. And sometimes even if there was a road damaged, maybe 2 days or 3 days or 4 days, even a week before, the Google Maps do not update necessarily in time to show you a detour. So those are small little things. I mean, we had once an appointment, we had to go to a place, Nashna, and we couldn't. Luckily, I built in some extra time, so it was not a problem, because it took us out to and we had to ask around for a detour. So remember, Google Maps do not show necessarily pedestrians or obstacles in the road. So it's a great aid, but it's not the one only. Then also, I assume you will have a mobile phone, but as a general, don't use your handheld cell phone for talking or dialing. It's dangerous, number one. And secondly, the phone can be confiscated. It's not a nice thing to have your holiday interrupted because you don't have a phone that's confiscated. The other thing is, I keep my cell phone charged while I'm driving with a internal plug, or I also have a loose power bank because it happened that my car charger, the thing that connected to the car plug, broke, and luckily I had a car charger, and therefore not a car charger, those backups, battery banks, so I keep them out with me. A backup, maybe important detail, a file or whatever, on an alternative phone, or maybe your reservation documents when you go to a place, keep it back up on an alternative, another phone, just in case. If should you ride with someone, I ride with my wife, so I keep my backup on her just in case. I'm a little bit paranoid. And then maybe I have a hard copy of one or two of the important documents. I also might keep a hard copy of the most important documents that I need, especially the book-in documents for the hotel, but also of one or two contact numbers. And I keep it of my son, because we must not trust too much a cell phone, because the cell phone can be robbed, something can happen with it. So, and keep it maybe on your person, in the case, and maybe in the car. Two or more. My son, I usually have my son, but maybe two or more people, because these days we do not recall numbers by heart, phone numbers. It's a different time. Then try to keep within the speed limit. You must remember, I think that's my overall in wherever it is. Small municipalities like to trick people because a lot of the income depends on speed limits. So they have a sort of speed traps. You just ride from a big throughway, national road, and then all of a sudden as you enter the town, it's maybe 120 road all the time, 120. All of a sudden it's 90, and then thereafter it becomes 70 or 60 kilometers. And directly thereafter, behind that, is a speed camera or people waiting for you. So, and it's a little bit uncomfortable, no one has time to waste. So just be on the alert for speed limits and speed traps. But that's unfortunately, that happens, I think, throughout the world, where people deliberately set the thing in such a way to trap you and to get money. I have a pen and paper somewhere, a backup copy, maybe some of your contacts, as I said before. A cell can, battery or whatever, the cell can be stolen, the cell can be, the battery can finish. And then at least you have a pen and paper, especially maybe if there's an accident or an emergency, and you don't have cell number phones working, and you must write things down. Maybe the number of the person involved in the accident, the number of maybe a witness or details, whatever. And then you have road borders as everywhere. Keep away from the road borders. Don't drive in the yellow line as far as possible. It's a wonderful country. It's a lovely country. Sometimes want to ride slowly, but just be careful. Just be careful, especially at night. Or during poor weather where your sight are constrained and you can't see that well. There are pedestrians maybe, and that happens a lot. People without reflective jackets, or cyclists without, people are poor. They cycle from, especially on the rural roads, along the farms or from what. Or you can have cars without lights. And then, I'm sorry, you see when you ride in the road, you virtually just get onto those people, and then you see, luckily I didn't ride in the yellow line, because I would not have noticed that person. In case of an accident, look, you are legally obliged to stop at the site of an accident. But it's not uncommon in South Africa that people deliberately was involved in accidents to lure them from their cars and to rob them and to hijack the car, maybe just a fender bender at the back. So first, make sure it is safe to stop. Ne? First, make sure it is safe to stop. If you feel you got the gut feeling it's not safe, but this is my personal thing. Ne? Legally you are obliged to, but it depends on you. But what I will do, and I will recommend, but it is your legal obligation to stop. But you must just, and don't blame me. First, make sure it's safe, and then, if not safe, drive to the nearest police station. Try to get to the police station on your cell phone, location of the SAPS, so that we can police services. Or sometimes you see big notices. But if it's not you're unsafe, you're unsure, I don't think it depends on you, but I will not stop. Then check with the hiring company or the insurance to prevent then towing sharks come and just tow your car. That happens quite a lot. They tow your car and then they ask a lot of money for you to retrieve your car. So don't just say yes. You may be under shock, whatever. But as part of your preparations for going on tour, where is my insurance phone number? Where is the company that rents the vehicle? How do I contact them immediately in case of an accident? Notify them. Please guide me. Please send someone out from your insurers, because the people you don't. They ask you a lot of money, arm and a leg. For you to get your money back. Even in an accident, take as many photos as you can, because it's not uncommon for people, unfortunately, you make a light scratch against the car and they claim a lot of money. It happened with me personally, therefore I'm saying it, talk about personal issues, and they make themselves more scratches in cahoots with panel beater. Then if you can maybe get a witness and write down the details of the witness. If someone is willing to witness, say I saw that, it's not uncommon for people not to be involved, not to want to be involved, because it's just human nature here. But photos will then, for someone who the insurance companies, they can reconstruct it and see from the photos. Most likely, okay, this is the way the accident happened, and this is to blame. Car hijackings in South Africa, like in many other countries, is not uncommon. So keep your doors locked at all times, and then ask if the area I'm driving through or this area is safe. Look, people will always tell you this is a safe area. It's very seldom. Maybe at a hotel or something. I was here, whatever. Ask for people. Ask more than one person. Ask 1, 2, 3. Man, is the area safe? Man, is this? Don't ask also, if you're at a hotel or whatever, don't ask just the people in front, at the reception desk. Ask the workers, maybe the person working in the garden, maybe the one who's cleaning, maybe the one at the gate. Those sort of ignored personnel. And they will tell you the truth. No, it's X, Y, Z. It's unsafe. So ask a few. It's for your own safety. And then be vigilant at the gates and maybe robots and other stops where you must stop. Leave some room available for you to escape in terms of emergency. Be aware of your situation. Be aware that if someone comes from behind, if someone just want to run in from the side or whatever. And just simply use common sense. Use common sense. You feel unsafe, act accordingly. God gave us a good common sense. And then, don't try to be a hero. Life gets priority. Leave the car. Take my car. Most likely, if you're able to travel, you're able to afford insurance. The insurance must fight this out. Funerals cost also a lot of money. Then if you drive at night, it's regularly. I'm talking now people traveling from one big town to another. Don't drive. If it's dark, if it's night, you're supposed to have been already at your destination, safe at your hotel. But now, let us be realistic. You can't always keep to that rule. Ne? Maybe you were caught in a location somewhere. There were roadblocks along the way. There were road constructions. You are a little bit late. You are forced to drive at night. If you are forced to drive at night, keep your doors locked. And what I do is have a leading car. Ne? Try to follow a car maybe 50 meters behind the car in that road, stretch of road wherever you can. Because if something happens, at least that car happened and then you can follow him. Because sometimes there are spikes or deflating devices that people put in the road and they want to force you to stop. Suppose they deflate your wheel now. Just that you will have to stop 1 kilometer from there, and there they wait for you to rob you, to hurt you, to whatever. So do not stop. Be careful for those spikes, and ride on. Even if it's your tire is not only flat, your tire is broken, it starts getting to the rim. It is safer, your life is more important than that. It will cost a lot of money, but it will not cost your life. And you can explain to whoever it is, man, if it's not your own vehicle, I was scared, I was just trying to settle things then. But as I say, if should you have to pay yourself, it is your life, and the lives of people who are with you are more valuable than the cars that are. Then also beware of bridges, because it's not uncommon. People stand on bridges, then they throw things down on the vehicle. You make an accident, a kilometer further they rob you. So if you have to ride at night, just be careful when you approach the bridge. If you see someone there close to the bridge, change lanes. Change lanes close to the bridge or the overhang or whatever. So that if and you can see most that person is trying to follow you, and then you can drive and make cautionary things. Should you drive at night? It's best, what I do, and I read it. It's not my original advice. Is that you have to maybe drive across the lane in the middle of the lanes, so that you can add to both lanes. Move over to any lane if you want to. And the possibility of getting maybe a spike or whatever that's in the usual lane of your wheel is not there. Drive also at a reasonable speed where you can react quickly. It's no use to drive at 150 kilometers. You have to act, and then it's unsafe to you. But as I said already, do not stop. Do not stop at. Try to avoid it at all costs, because it is dangerous, most likely dangerous. Then also there are sudden floods. Of course, no one during this time of with climate change, sudden floods. We are on a lovely holiday, and then there's a sudden flood, a sudden weather change that's being announced. You try to avoid the roads. Ne? And you maybe wait it out at whatever place it is. But sometimes, because you want to avoid the flood in the area and the heavy rains, you ride out to another destination. In that process, you are caught in the rain. You can't. What must you now do? Drive at a reasonable speed that adapts to the weather. You can't virtually see. And go fast, slow, and try to be in a group of conversation, because you can observe from what other people do. That's the way you are being safe. If they be aware that the road surface may have changed, that's what you must do. So even if you can see the water coming in a stream over the road, it doesn't mean the road is the same depth. The road could have the road surface could have been damaged, and sort of river could have been carved out. So be careful. Do not force your way through a flood. Be very careful. If you ultimately don't, but if you must, look, I'm talking about human nature. Maybe then start and go a little back, see what someone else is doing. If someone else is a fool enough to do it and he goes through very slowly and he arrives at the other side, then you try to follow his route. But I'm talking about worst case. You don't want to, you don't must do, but every time maybe you are forced to. But the first time, avoid the roads. Then just maybe something about driving comfort. Keeping some wet wipes for your hands nearby is also not a valuable thing. You sometimes sticky things or whatever. Small dirt bags, just a plastic bag around the gear lever. There it is, and I throw my things in and then I throw it out of the garage. Maybe you have want to have something cool and you don't have every time want to stop to buy cool drinks. What I do is maybe juice or still water or non-fizzy drinks. I freeze it the night before, and then as it defrosted, then I start drinking one or the other. But it's a choice, and then keep your small snacks close to you. Thank you very much for watching this video. We love constructive comments and criticism. Please like and share this video, and please subscribe. Thank you very much for watching this.